The government is under pressure to allow Ukrainians refuge in the UK as the invading Russian forces surge towards Kyiv and other key objectives. This is what Prime Minister Boris Johnson said on Saturday.
Of course we're going to take refugees.
His comments came after Labour said the government's refusal to relax visa restrictions for those seeking sanctuary in the UK was immoral at a time when the country was under fire. Home Secretary Priti Patel hit back with this: appalling misinformation. This is simply untrue. And the Prime Minister added this:
I'm aware that there's some fake news on the internet.
Well, let's take a look at that.
In terms of people who might want to come here, it's still very, very difficult, isn't it? There are temporary concessions in place for some family members of British nationals.
At the moment, the visa regime seems extremely bureaucratic and restrictive.
Anyone who has no connection to the UK cannot get in.
We have a scheme where we're asking people to jump through hoops. There's bureaucracy, there's red tape. Why would we ask people what their salary levels are when you're fleeing war? That is immoral.
And this is what Kevin Foster, a migration minister under Priti Patel at the Home Office, said on Twitter. There are a number of routes, not least our seasonal workers scheme, which Ukrainians can qualify for alongside the family route for those with relatives here.
I mean, the message to Ukrainians is that they can come here if they're willing to pick fruit.
I believe that tweet has been deleted.
Scottish First Minister Sturgeon responded to Mr Foster's words with this: I hope we get clarity ASAP, Priti Patel, that this is not Home Office position. Migrant seasonal workers make a valued contribution to our economy, but this is not the route to the UK that we should expect those seeking refuge from war to rely on. This is what Foreign Secretary Liz Truss had to say Sunday morning.
But for people who are desperate to get out, and we know there are an awful lot of people who are desperate to get out, how soon are we going to start taking refugees? How many are we going to accept?
Well, as I've said, this is something we are urgently looking at.
Not exactly helpful with action needed immediately. Shadow Foreign Secretary David Lammy explains what action is needed.
We should have a generous scheme that's simplified, similar to the one that we set up after the Balkans, or indeed the one that we have for Hong Kong nationals. Why are we asking people effectively to go through the same hoops that we would, or even suggesting that they should apply to be fruit pickers?